Hi y'all, welcome to the channel. I'm Heather. Today I wanted to just do a quick little tour of the garden and share with you what we've got going on and share with you some projects that we have in the near future. So come on, let's take a tour. Okay guys, to start with, I want to share with you that I have a gate. I've yet got to get it painted, so I'm going to be getting that painted soon. Okay guys, so we have some Brussels sprouts. We have just 2 Brussels sprouts. We have some cauliflower and broccoli. Okay, and we have a bunch of onions. I'm going to be letting them go to seed this year. So we have strawberries, some comfrey. Here we have some cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower as well. We also have some garlic in there tucked in. And we have pests, of course. Plenty of those. But I think every garden has a few pests to deal with. Alright, and we did put in we have a cushaw squash growing. Alright, and here we have potatoes. This is the bed that I did the potato video on, to heal or not to heal. Alright, so we have 3 trellises. Over here we have tomatoes, we have peppers and cucumbers, and we have more tomatoes here, and we have some garlic. And I have potatoes growing in bags here that I used recycled feed bags for. This is something new for us. We've added this section in here. We're going to try out some weed barrier and some mulch in between to kind of help save on the mulch. So we've got some peppers and onions planted here as well. Over here we have some squash, some tomatoes, some onions, and peppers. Alright, so this section is new. I'm hoping this section does well. I fertilized when I put the plants in the ground, so I'm hoping for good things here. Okay, so this section is our oldest section of the garden. We have 4 blueberries here. We have some more potato grow bags. This is a new addition for us. This is a self-watering pot that I have to finish. It has our Jerusalem artichokes in. And this blueberry here is this blueberry bush is just loaded down with berries. That is just loaded with berries. Alright, so that's a Titan blueberry. Alright, and again we have some more potatoes, cabbage, and there's some peppers tucked in there. I do not know the name of all my peppers, unfortunately. Alright, here's some carrots that I have planted. I showed these in a previous video. Okay, they will become soon to harvest, thankfully. And again, this is one of the things we're going to change. Here is where the duck pen stops, down there at the corner. Okay, we're going to expand this. This is going to be a project that we're doing. It's going to come down to here. Okay, so we're expanding that. We have some more potatoes growing over here. Looks like it's about to go to flower. Alright, and the grape this year is just loaded with little baby grapes. They're everywhere. That thing is looking amazing. And I'm going to be taking this bed of irises out of here. Alright, so we have some ginger over here. We have a bok choy that went to seed. It's the only plant that we had. It was in a batch of seeds. Don't know how that ended up. Okay, last year I harvested some garlic, and apparently I missed some of the corms because we still have garlic growing. Okay, and then we have a batch of Malabar spinach. I'm going to let it grow. I know it's kind of out of control. All right, here's the garlic. So this is basically a volunteer bed here. Whatever has grown on this end here has been a volunteer plant. A raspberry that's from over there. Okay, so this raspberry crept across here and has popped up over here. So we're going to be moving this to the chicken food forest. All right, down here we do have some garlic. I intend to plant something here. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant here with the garlic, but I'm going to plant something. All right, this corner always seems to be out of control. It's always a mess. I'm hoping to gain control of this year. As you see, the raspberries have come out into the walkway here. I've been trying to weed so I could get to the raspberries. Beautiful blooms. I'm trying to wait till they're not blooming to move them, but I may end up just moving them to be able to get them out of the way. These are the blackberries. They are blooming beautifully. Did a great job. Coming back again this year. I did want to make a note that we did have 4 here, and this variety here has really died completely back, and it's coming down from the original base there. I'm not sure how I feel about this variety. It has struggled since we got it. So I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that. And here is the other one that is the same variety. And as you see, it's just not doing as well as these other ones are. They never did do as great as I was hoping for them to. Alright, so I also want to share with you that the blackberries came out into the walkway over here. Okay, now these are in full bloom, so I am probably going to wait. It might be a mistake, but I'm going to try and wait to transplant these into the chicken food forest. They are doing really well. They're thriving, and that one there as well. So there's 3 big bushes, and there's one there, and there's one there that's small. I may go ahead and move those smaller ones since they aren't blooming. And we've got some cucumbers about killed. On this side of the garden, we've had some serious pest pressure. As you see, there is a lot of pest damage. So I'm going to have to be mindful of that and keep a better eye on that. But we do still have some vegetables over here. We have some cabbage coming up, and we do have some broccoli. So we are still getting vegetables from over here, but I'm definitely going to have to research into a way I want to attack the pest. I did spray last night, but I'm going to have to probably spray again tonight to make sure that we've gotten all those pesky pests. So there is a lot of pest damage in these 2 beds. Okay, and up there is the rosemary. Again, this front corner really needs to be cleaned up. I'm just having a heck of a time getting up here to get this cleaned up. As you see, it's just out of control. And we do have some wild carrots growing. I'm going to have to get those out of here. There's just so much. So far, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. And I know that not everything is going to happen as fast as we want it to, and sometimes when we are looking in one direction doing one thing, something over in another area is not going so well. So that is what has happened with the cruciferous plants. They've just been struggling with the pests. So, but I'm back on top of this area as well, so maybe we'll get a better harvest out of this area since I've trying to gain control of that. All right, now let me show you an area that we are working on, and we're going to be putting some trees over here. Okay, so this section here has a lot of roots in it. I've only done about half of this section, and I've already gotten a wheelbarrow, almost 2 wheelbarrows full of roots out of this section. So we're going to keep plugging at it, and I'm going to keep trying to get as many of those roots out as possible so my trees have a good chance to grow. Now, that section looked like this over here. That's my pile of roots right there. But all that brush is what this area up here looked like when we started. Okay, so we've made progress. So I've made progress, but it's still a lot of progress to be made still. So let's go on with the tour. Okay, so I did have some walking onions survive last year. I thought I lost all my walking onions. Thankfully, they are doing great in the new area that I put them. So they are looking really well, and I am so excited to see their comeback. And I'm excited to get this bed going again. All right, so we do have some volunteered Japanese purple mustard. Of course, our lamb's ear, some more onions. All right, now this guy right here is a new addition, and I'm deciding on where to put it. It is a kiwi isa. It is a kiwi berry. All right, I'm excited to have this because I love kiwi, and we don't really need a whole lot to be able to get kiwi berries. Of course, here's our elderberry. I finally got it down into the ground, and it's doing well. And here is another kiwi isa. All right, so this is how much we've extended, and I do want to let you know, while I'm taking a second, we did get the fence put up around the entire garden now, hence the gate at the beginning. All right, so that is the original area. There is nothing growing on this trellis right here, but I do want to put a zucchini, and I'm hoping that that'll get down this evening. Okay, so we have bananas. One is on this side, and then one is on the other side of this black tarp. This was not here last year. We did put this tarp into place. I mulched, I tilled, I mulched, and the weeds were just growing back aggressively. So I laid the tarp down until I could get some other stuff going. All right, so that is why we have the tarp, and that plastic on that arch did not hold up. I will never use that brand again. I'll have to leave a link into down into the description of the type that I used. There was 2 things wrong with it. One, it did not come clear, and it said clear, and as you could see, that is clearly not clear. So I definitely want to warn you guys, and it was down for 6 months, and it just shredded before I could get the top completely taken down. So I just want you guys to be aware of it and not to make the same mistake that I did. All right, here is the loquat tree. It is doing splendid. It is still looking good. And we do have an odd little leaf there. I've never seen a leaf like that, but that is pretty cool. Okay, completely opposite of the loquat tree is going to be a pomegranate. Okay, this pomegranate I thought was dead, and it surprised me. It came back. So I'm hoping that it continues to keep thriving, and I don't have to replace this guy. It does have quite a bit of damage, so I'm hoping that it pulls through. I'm definitely going to throw down some nutrients and really see if I can make this thing come back. And right here, I want to share with you, there was a watermelon here last year. I just left it here, and we have some volunteer watermelons. Thank goodness, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to plant watermelon. So it's good to see that I have some volunteer watermelons. All right, here is the other banana. Again, it's opposite the banana. So I know that so far I've had kind of a crazy planting habit, and Dave and I have been discussing the way we're going to plant. I like things done my way. He wants things done his way. Who knows, we may split it down the middle and do it of each. We'll have to see how that goes. All right, so we're going to update you on how we end up expanding this garden to where it is productive, and he can have what he wants, and I can have what I want. So, all right, let's go on with the tour, guys. All right, so here are some potatoes, also shown in a previous video. These potatoes are just planted in a spot, as you see, it's weeds, okay? And up there is the original garden, and over here is where the loquat tree is. So just a few feet amongst the weeds, there is some potatoes. Now these potatoes, I think, are going to be Norland Reds and Adirondack Blue. So I think there's 2 of the Norland Reds and 1 of the Adirondack Blues. So I'm hoping for good things. It does look like I'm going to have to come back and till and push the weeds back a little bit and get that mulched in so I can have a productive potato harvest. Okay guys, so I want to show you the wild plum tree that we're going to be moving this year. I'm excited about that. So let's go take a look at that. Okay guys, so as you see, the garden is over there on the other side of those wild brush there. All right, and here is the wild plum. All right, we've still got a green plum there. We still have a green plum. There are some ripe ones that were on there this morning. All right, so down here I wanted to take a second and show you why we were going to transplant them, besides the weeds are out of control. But here at the base, I don't know how they got here, but if you look, okay, it is so giving. There is really nothing holding them in the ground. So Dave and I thought were actually crab apples. We didn't know any different, but now that we do, last year we got some ripe fruit and we got brave and tried them. So they're actually plums. They taste just like a plum. They're delicious, but they're super small. Okay, so these were actually a nice surprise. So we're going to be moving those trees over to where we are tilling up. Okay guys, so let's just take a quick pan around and look at things, and it still looks pretty rough. It just feels like I never get ahead of the game, but I do see differences out here. I just have to make sure that I continue to keep looking so that I can find the progress and I don't get discouraged. Okay guys, so I'm also going to be incorporating plants to make different teas with this year. So I really need your help with this. I need your help with where would you put it? What would you put in for your tea garden? I'd love some ideas. I do have some plants going, and I'll share those with you as I go along and I get those put into place. I always love sharing, so I'm willing to share anything and everything I do with you. So if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to answer them, the questions that you may have. Okay guys, thanks for stopping by and taking this little garden tour with us. Until next time, happy homesteading.